But you are the youngest candidate among the four. You're the youngest. Zambians would like to know, how did you decide? How did this humble man, from a man from a humble background, suddenly just decide, maybe not sudden, but decide finally that you want to be the next president of this country and you want to lead this country? Was there a moment, was there a spark? What can you tell us about how you came to decide that you want to be the president?
First, Caristo, every human being is political. I want to believe that. It's a question of the degree of how much they bring out this aspect. What is political? It is the state in which our people live. When you look at the state of the living conditions, the state of our people, housing, education, where many pupils still sleep, if it's in a dormitory, say at the university, 6 of them in a room. I don't know about you, I know you came later at the university. Yeah. At our time, there used to be 2 of us.
I think you had just left when I...
There used to be 2 of us in a room. It's a very small room. Maybe it's 2 meters by 2 meters or 3 meters by 3 meters. Now, there are 6 or 7 students in a room. When many of our young children are sitting on the floor in classrooms, when many Zambians go to bed without a decent meal, what choice has anybody like Hakainde got? Frankly speaking, the political aspect in one's humanity does come out depending on the circumstances under which the country is being managed, governed, the conditions under which the people of Zambia live. So for me, this is what brought out this decision, to realize that we have a country that is endowed with everything. God loved us so much, gave us Zambezi River, continued being kind to us, gave us Kafue River, gave us Chambeshi, Wapula. Yet, next door, like nose and mouth, opportunity basically next door, but our people are going to bed without a decent meal. Caristo, it's embarrassing. You must be embarrassed. First, there's a human being that in a land of plenty, people are hungry. In a land of plenty, 70% of our people live in abject poverty. This is the motivation for me. This is the motivation for any decent, normal human being. To realize that you are alone, having decent meals every day, when your neighbor, in my case, in Kabulonga, and across in Kalingalinga, just 1.5 kilometers, people's children are not in school. Who do I think I am? So this is the motivation to solve a problem or a paradox, as I would like to call it. Why in a land of plenty, amidst plenty, Zambians are so poor? So partially, that's that. Partially, it was a question that I've always been a community worker. Born in a village, living in a community life, we've always realized that as a team, we can change our livelihoods, obviously for the better. So there are many factors. Of course, one third aspect that triggered, or the third aspect that triggered that, was the death of President Mazoka, in our case. May he so rest in peace. Tremendous Zambian, capable Zambian. Many of the people of Zambia did not like Mazoka until when he died, they realized what he stood for. And Zambians must change this attitude. We must not despise people who are willing to serve those that are less privileged. You know, I could be in my house. Frankly, Caristo, I don't need to work. But I have to work for the people of Zambia. It is embarrassing. It is unacceptable. It's actually something that we must not tolerate going forward anymore.
All right. Yeah. And now, I'm sure all the other candidates will also talk about what is happening in our country and how they are best suited to fix the economy, to fix all the aspects that you've talked about. But I want you to address this. What makes you the best candidate among the four to deal with these issues?
Well, first and foremost, you have said many other candidates who will say they're the best. We don't want to be compared with other candidates because there is no comparison. Every country goes through phases of development. I would like to believe that our first phase, for today's basis, for the viewers, we had political independence. Our search for political independence was the first phase. And we had the right people to deliver independence to us. And we thank them for that. The second phase, after the failures of one-party state, we had to bring about multipartism in our country. And colleagues worked to deliver Zambia into a multi-party state in which we are now. In fact, a return, because we were already a multi-party state. That is the time, and they were the right people to do that. This time round, we are in what I call third generation politics, or public affairs management, resource management. And this country now, Caristo, requires different skills to take Zambia forward in the third generation aspect of our public affairs management. And when you look around, is Zambia in a military war? No. Is Zambia in a legal war crisis? Maybe no. What is obvious is that Zambia is in an economic crisis. It's in a social crisis. To resolve the social crisis, you need to resolve the economic crisis, because the economic success funds the social sectors. And Zambians must understand that you cannot have a viable social sector without a strong economic sector, strong, sustainable economic sector. This is the era in which we are, Caristo. No. This era, therefore, demands and requires certain skills held by individuals seeking public office to be the right ones. When you analyze the candidates that are running for office, you can start knocking off others that this is not the era for them. This is the era for different people, probably people like ourselves. And this is really normal in a country. Leaders come and go. Leaders of a particular era come, do their part, go. And I think this is what should happen. My competitors have done their part. They were suitable then. They are not suitable now. We believe we are suitable now. Our background, our skills, and what we've done for ourselves out there. People should not come and test their abilities with public resources. You test your abilities with private resources. That's what we've done. And I think this is the era for people like ourselves. Thank you. All right.